Hi everyone, Molly here. I don't spend a lot of time doing this, talking to you like this, unless I don't know, recommending a foundation or telling you to get your kids vaccinated against meningitis. But I feel like I can't stay silent, and neither should you. Um, there's something horrible going on in our country right now. And we have had one of the greatest countries in the world. And I've always been so proud to be an American. But right now, this is a fascist government. It's not becoming a fascist government, it is a fascist government. And ICE is brutalizing people. And I don't care how you identify, if you're a Democrat, if you're a Republican, if you're independent, if you don't like to be political at all, it doesn't matter. You have to look at what kind of country you want to live in. And I don't think that I need to remind you, just give a little history lesson here quick. But
please don't tell me she's going to start referencing Germany. Germany is a amazing country. And in the 1930s and 40s, they made so many leaps and bounds in technological advances that to this day, most of our current technology, its origin is the Third Reich of Germany in the 30s and 40s. Extreme advancements in medicine, in technology, in rocket science, etc., come from that era. Please don't bring up the fact that they had laws, they had rules, and every country on earth does. The United States is not special. Law enforcement is a common thing in a civilized nation. I hope this old broad is not about to. I haven't seen this video. We're watching this live together, all of us at once. But I'm really hoping she's not going to reach back there, because every day that you guys bring up Germany, we're starting to realize how much we really like that Germany. Because if you think about it, they were free Palestine before it was cool. I mean, when you look at who were the original people that were against Zionism, and who had the biggest effect. So you keep reminding me how much I really like that era of history. And now it's starting to seem like you're complimenting us, which we appreciate, but it's like you're doing it in a roundabout way. I hope that's not where she's going, but if she is, thank you, Miss Ringwald. And let me tell you, I say she's old because she was an actress when I was like born. She was like on movies and stuff, from what I remember. And just to see these people with this TDS. So you were proud of this country when Obama was doing mass deportations using ICE or La Migra. Don't you remember that? That's a part of your life. That's a part of your timeline. That was also, you were alive in those years, but you were oddly silent. So what's so special about Trump that's just activating these people? And it's just because I think Trump was also an actor. He's a personality on TV. A lot of these people, it's weird. I just think black people and white people were very different. Turns out they're not. The black community suffers from jealousy and envy of one another, and they kill each other, and it's like this extreme animosity nobody can understand. Apparently, white people suffer from it too. They see an older man who's white, who's in a better position than them, and they are jealous and envious of him, and they hate him because of his massive success when compared. And I'm noticing that from a lot of different people, because I'm wondering, what is their individual gripe with Trump? And that's the only thing that keeps coming up. They bring up his money, and then they bring up how much they don't like him because of his money. And that is literally the definition of what you see jealousy and envy turn into. It's just like metamorphosizes. Apparently it spreads to women as well. Especially, when you're an older woman and you age out, you become invisible, and you just kind of pick up and attach yourself to any cause that'll make you stay relevant. I'm thinking that's where she's about to go with this.
If you look at what happened in France, where I lived.
Oh yeah, well, I was wrong. She said France. Sorry.
For a few years in my 20s. they were taken over by the Nazis. They were invaded. They were taking over.
God damn it. I was wrong. Actually, I was right. I was wrong the first time. I was right. She was going to bring up a Nazi reference. We really do not think that period of time, when you think about the laws, if they had enforcement, and if you look at the history of the people that went into the camps, and you look up who is Magnus Hirschfeld and who wrote those books that they were burning and why they burned the books, it's literally the same stuff that Americans are rejecting today. We're rejecting transgenderism. We're rejecting sexualizing children. We are rejecting gay kids in general. We don't like it. We don't like grooming. We don't like the sexualization of children. That's what they were doing in the Reich. Those are the books they burned, were books that were talking about and discussing transgenderism and sexualizing children. Those the disgusting textbooks, they're sneaking into your kids' classroom when they're in kindergarten, genderqueer and all. Except they were written in German at the time, and they burnt those books. Those are the books that they burned. We're literally fighting the exact same fight against the exact same people, the Zionists, right now. And these people are picking the wrong side. But this is Hollywood. We all know what Hollywood is famous for. Is the same stuff that the Epstein is famous for. We know what their proclivities are. And they see Trump as being in the way. That's how you know Trump's not a pedophile or guilty of all that stuff, because the actual pedophiles hate him. When he should be revered, they would normally be amplifying him up. I remember when Joe Biden was president, nobody had shit to say. Even though his own daughter wrote a diary of all the freaky stuff he used to do in the shower with her. That's why I don't take any of these people seriously.
And a lot of people collaborated. And then there were people that did not collaborate and were part of the resistance. Eventually, they got their country back. And those people who collaborated were found to be criminal.
She's not good at history. The country wasn't taken back. It was the administration, the regime at the time, the Nazi regime, they actually dispersed. They lost the war. The German people, many of them, some said they had no idea what was going on, but others were there. They were present. There was a lot of money that was exchanged, and the country was pillaged. And a lot of their wealth was redistributed to these people who they called themselves victims of. And it was wrong. And ever since then, that company's never recovered. Excuse me. I know this because I've lived in Germany, and the shame of the Holocaust or the stories of the Holocaust has, plagued the country for many years. And it's ruined generations of men and made people in the country feel less than. And she basically is saying she would like for us to be like the post-war Germany. Are you out of your fucking mind? Lady, we are Americans. I don't know what you are, but I'm an American. There will be no groveling. There will be no, rebuilding where we are disarming ourselves to make retards like you feel better about yourselves. You can go virtue signal in hell. I'm not giving up shit to make you feel better about yourself. You're on your own, lady.
And that is what's going to happen. I mean, you should not support what is going on just because these are human beings and we are human beings, and we cannot forget our humanity.
Yeah, technically, didn't you say you hate the Nazis? Weren't they humans, or were they some kind of offset of some sort of aliens? It's like your arguments are not, they're nonsensical. You're virtue signaling. And it's all because of this hatred for a man named Donald Trump that is misguided.
But if you don't care about that, if you only care about yourself, then realize that you are going to be seen as a collaborationist. Okay?
I don't even know if that's a word. Let's look that up, shall we? Arthur, is collaborationist a word?
Collaborationist is definitely a real word, but it comes with a very specific and usually negative connotation. Historically, a collaborationist refers to someone who cooperates with an enemy force occupying their country. It was used a lot in the context of World War II. In modern usage, it can sometimes be used metaphorically to describe someone seen as betraying their group by aligning with a rival or opposing force. So while it's a legitimate term, It's not something typically used lightly or as a compliment.
Gotcha. So apparently she's using this word as if the United States is divided. We are. She's on one side, I'm on the other. There's no collaborationists. We already have a current government that is in place. She wants to replace it with something else. She's better off moving to another country that she shares their same ideals. The United States laws were already on the books long before Trump took office. We have immigration laws. We have borders. If you don't respect a country's laws, then you leave. Personally, I've lived in 7 other countries. I speak 4 languages. I've never been in another country and was like, you know what? I love this country, but I hate the laws. Let me go try to fight law enforcement and start making getting into it with. No, I would just choose to go to another country that I like better. I don't stay somewhere where I'm happy. The United States is only one player. There's 190 other countries to choose from. You don't have to live here. When Biden was president, he was making people take those injections, and we had to do vaccine passports in LA with masks. I moved to another country. I initially had moved to another state, but then the lockdowns kept spreading. It went from LA, then the Arizona was open, then they started closing, then Vegas was open, then they started having mask mandates. I went all the way to Texas, where it was freedom. Then I found out that other countries outside the US were even more free. So I left. I came back when I found out Kamala wasn't going to win. Then I was like, okay, the country, there's hope for us yet. Because I wasn't going to let her drag me into a war where they're going to be trying to draft everyone I know to go get melted in the meat grinder in the Ukraine just because some witch with a drinking problem is controlled by a bunch of globalists that want to see Americans die on the battlefield. Not going to happen. So I decided to come back then. I didn't sit here and say, oh, let me go fight with law enforcement and talk about how we shouldn't have laws. And mind you, these people, it's not like they're saying we need to get rid of immigration laws only. No, they want to get rid of all laws. Rape, murder, theft. They want to get rid of all laws. You don't know this because you don't talk to them because they're psychos. Also, they're not necessarily going to tell you. You have to literally have a conversation with them and see where it goes. So in a country where we have children and we have families and we have responsibilities, lawlessness is not an option. We need stability. We cannot have chaos, which is what she's calling for. Now, this woman has no husband. She has no children. She wants to throw her life away. That's her business. Why are you trying to drag the rest of us into your psychosis? That's my only issue with this whole thing. She can say what she wants, but you're encouraging other lost people to join a fruitless cause. Instead of throwing your life away trying to fight the police or fight law enforcement, move to another country.
And I don't think that anybody wants that. I don't think that anybody wants to be on the wrong side of history. So please use your voice and protest. You know, these are children. These are children who are being taken away from their parents. These are mothers who are being killed.
They are illegals and they are terrorists. There are terrorists being killed for attacking law enforcement, and there are children who belong to illegal aliens as parents who traffic their own kids over here, knowing that they would be illegal, but hoping to abuse our kindness in the United States to use it against us. They are still wrong. They will have to be removed. That there is no negotiation. There's no negotiating this part. This is a non-negotiable. If you feel so strongly about this, you can spend your own money, fly to another country, and every time an immigration plane lands with deportees, you can help them get resettled in their home country and spend your own dime to rehouse them. You can literally make another country great again because according to you, the immigrants built America. Okay, well then go build another fucking country and go there. Why do you want to give us all of your, why do we need to have a monopoly on the immigration? I think we should, as Americans, it's our responsibility to spread the wealth, if you will. So we're going to give the immigrants to another country so they can be great. You spend your money and go there. Why are you wasting your time here?
Fathers, these are ICU nurses. These are people that are good people.
You don't know them. So how do you know they're good people? I know that we've been deporting a lot of these good fucking people, and now crime and murder is down 60% nationwide. So if they're so good, why did the crime drop when they left? I don't know. It's something about you, man. It makes me think you're full of shit, Mrs. Ringwald. You're full of shit, and you're on the wrong side of history. You're on the opposite side of me. See, on my side, we have the moral framework and a constitutional based morality code that is for the preservation of America for Americans. You want our resources to give to everyone else over Americans. In particular, these people with her argument, even if she's white, she literally has a disdain for white people. That's why these people are, it's why they pretend like it's not, but there is a low-key race war that's happening. And there's people that have literally been brainwashed against themselves and their own families. Why do you think she's alone?
That now their families have to grieve them for doing nothing except for standing up for what's right, for keeping women from being brutalized by these monsters. And they are monsters.
She's a monster. And you know what? She is extremely unaware of the foundation of this nation. She thinks America's supposed to have no borders and no laws. She's a fucking idiot and she's a liar. I bet you there's a lock on her front door at her house. I bet you there's a fence around her perimeter of her property, just like that idiot Billy Eyelid. No one's illegal on stolen land. Then bitch, how about we serve you an eviction notice? You get the fuck out and we keep the house and we sell it and we keep the equity because, well, your house was built on stolen land. Find you somewhere that's not stolen to go build on. But anything that's for sale, there's always going to be someone somewhere that's going to say, hey, my ancestors had it first. So what are you going to do? What are you going to tell Billy Eyelid? She got to go live underwater or something with SpongeBob and Squidward? What are your options? These people want to rewrite history. They don't understand it. Oh, this land is stolen. Oh, these people are being evil because they're being deported. We have borders. We have laws. And this land was purchased the California's purchased in the Treaty of Guadalupe. The rest of it was lost in the Alamo and other battles. To the winner goes the spoils. Why don't you go ahead and grab a weapon, Molly, and you come take this shit back from us? Get busy. Choose me to be the scene of a Republican rather than prior 17 years, dark millennium Disney babies, except God giving them titles king and queen. What it could have been. Absolutely. I agree with you.
They are human beings as well, but they have forgotten that they're human beings and they have become monsters. Please.
Yeah, she's large. She's lost the argument. So now she's resorted to 4 to 6.
Please remember your humanity. Think about your kids. Think about your grandkids. Think about your sister and your brother.
I am. That's why we're putting America first and Americans first. Everyone she just named who's a relative of mine is an American. She wants to be something else. Leave. This country's not going to be big enough for the both of us. You're not agreeing with how we're doing things and we're not changing at all. We're not giving away our country to other people to make you feel better. These people are ridiculous. They're telling us to do stuff they won't do themselves. They're calling for violence in the streets that they're not willing to fight. They're asking us to close down, to open up our borders, but they won't open up their homes. Ask Molly how many of these illegals she offered to let come live with her. How many people are she sponsoring right now that are afraid to go to work because they didn't want to get deported? I bet you the answer is 0, because these people are liars and they virtue signal for attention. These same people like her, if they have children, unfortunately, they will trans their own kids so that they can get attention and feel like they belong to a club. They will literally sell out their souls. And they've been doing it for years. This is how they make it, unfortunately.
These are all people who have kids or fathers or mothers or aunts and uncles and people who love them.
Yeah, if you're born, you kind of have a mother and a father. That's kind of how it's worked historically.
And we all have people that love us, and we love people. I mean, I hope that we love people. I certainly do.
Why don't you love Trump then? He's a person. You lying piece of these people, bro.
Please do the right thing and stand up and use your voice. Thank you.
Yeah, we stood up against liberals and Democrats like you, and we're fighting against you. You're on the wrong side of history, and I hope you expel yourself by the way this ends. I don't want you to just become a recluse hiding under a rock because you were wrong and because you lost. I want you to get the hell out of here. I don't understand why you'd even want to live in proximity to people who are Americans, who want to put Americans first. But we go a step further, Americans only. She wants to put Americans last, if anywhere on the board. She's worried about everyone else's self-interest, nothing about ours. And that's my ultimate problem with people like her. Unfortunately, they all say the same things. They share this combined white guilt, and they feel like they basically want to just kill themselves, and hopefully the blacks and the illegals will take their homage of taking their own life and will accept them and think they're good people. Like, these people are psychopaths. They're ridiculous. You should be worried about your own human experience in your life, but yet you're crying about others. This is what happens when you're in privilege and you don't have enough problems. She doesn't have enough problems in her life, so what she's doing is she's finding other people's problems to adopt, kind of like the Black Panthers. There's no racism anymore, so now they got to get out here and try to defend the illegals because they can't find any other issues that black people have collectively, which means we're doing things right and things are going in the right direction. Let me know if your thoughts on this, if you agree or disagree. Do you suffer from the same mental illness as Molly Ringwald here? Or are you leaning right like myself and standing tall and you understand what's happening and why it's necessary? Let me know in the comments. I appreciate you guys being here. I'll be back with another episode in about 20 minutes. Remember, America first, and it's America.
I've been needing to find a new apartment, which has not been easy with credit as bad as mine. Luckily, I found cosigning.com. They connected me with a cosigner who helped me get my dream apartment for me and my dog. I just paid a small fee and was able to move in fast. Get the cosigner you need for the apartment you want. Check out cosigning.com today.